The war between Ukraine and Russian-backed separatists in eastern Ukraine's Donbas region is the backdrop to the impeachment hearings in Washington. 13,000 have been killed in the conflict, which began in 2014 when Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered the invasion of Crimea. That is when the U.S. boosted its military aid for Ukraine, explains Mark Simakovsky.
A hot conflict with Russia. So since that time, both the Obama and the Trump administrations have provided Ukraine more significant military equipment. Things like counter-battery radars, night vision goggles, Humvees, helmets, and with the Trump administration, more lethal equipment, which the Obama administration has been unwilling to provide. Things like anti-tank missiles, as well as more training that is helping Ukraine battle Russian separatists in the east.
President Donald Trump ordered the congressionally approved aid held back ahead of a call with Ukrainian President Zelensky in late July. It was released only after a whistleblower complaint about that call was revealed this September. The two presidents met on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly meeting in late September. Zelensky, a former comedian, made a joke about his multiple requests for an invitation to the White House.
And I want to thank you for invitation to Washington. Right. You invited me. But I think, I'm sorry, but I think you forgot to tell me the date. But I think in the nearest future.
They'll tell you the date.
Oh.
Joking aside, Ukraine is seeking to negotiate an end to the war, one that would see Russian fighters leaving Ukraine. Experts say invitations to the White House and U.S. military aid are critical to those efforts. Acting U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor, testified during the impeachment hearing that U.S. support is critical for Kyiv to negotiate from a position of strength.
If we withdraw or suspend or threaten to withdraw our security assistance, that's a message to the Ukrainians, but it's at least as important, as your question indicates, Mr. Chairman, to the Russians, who are looking for any sign of weakness or any sign that we are withdrawing our support for Ukraine.
Taylor said Ukraine is on the front line of a global campaign by Russia to violate all the rules and treaties Moscow committed to after the Second World War that have kept the peace in Europe for decades. Cindy Saine, VOA News, the State Department.